A lot of information to cover in a short amount of time. Let's go ahead and get to it. I guess I'll title this video something to the effect of why older men care less about hair loss. Let's just tentatively call that this video. Now here's what I don't want to talk about. I think already when you hear that title, it's like, oh, well, Nick, I get it. You know, older guys, older men, they're already established in their lives, in their careers. They've got families. They've got enough to worry about, and they just, all that stuff becomes more important than hair loss. So it makes sense that they don't care as much. Because that was always the vision I had when I was 21 and starting to really notice the beginning signs of my hair loss and realizing, hey, my time may be really limited. I want to be a guy who gets a hair transplant by the time I am in my mid-30s, so that I don't have to, you know, just be okay with losing my hair and letting my family and all that stuff become more important than my hair. That's what I thought, you know. But I don't want to talk about any of that, because I think the fact that older men care less about hair loss is beyond that. I think that's just the thing that people identify with because it's the easiest to point out. But I found really 3 reasons I believe that older guys don't care as much about hair loss. And by the way, in case you're already questioning, well, Nick, there's older guys that care about, well, based on who's watching this video, these videos, I know the demographics. I know your ages. I know that most of you start out around 16 and then up to about age 30, maybe 32. That's the majority of who's watching. Now, I do know our good friend Maxwell Smart. He revealed he's age 55. I think the oldest viewer of my channel, and I'm so grateful for Maxwell Smart because he adds so much. Being also Norwood 3, being a barber, he's got a lot of insight, and I'm so grateful for him. But other than that, I think most people are actually younger than me. I'm 36, so most people are younger than me. Most people are in their teens or early 20s from what I'm seeing in my on my phone app that shows me the demographics of who you are. So I know by that alone, it's younger guys that are worried more about their hair loss, not the guys who have already lost their hair or already, you know, around my age or older, let's say. So let's get to it. I've got 3 reasons that older men don't care about hair loss to the same degree that younger guys. And it has nothing to do with them being settled in their life and having more priorities. It's not about that. That would be a boring answer. And I'm Nick Shell, and I'm not boring. I'm interesting and engaging. That's why I can be a non-professional about hair loss, and still people will listen to me, and I can engage people and saturate the market with my videos. All right. The first thing is something I had talked about yesterday, about how the older you get, the more that you fully accept the fact that people value you based on what you have to offer them. Okay? So this is a very important life lesson, and I made that video yesterday that not many of you have watched, and you need to watch it because in my opinion it's one of the best videos I've ever done as far as what I talked about fundamentally dealing with hair loss. You need to watch it, where it's called something about people don't care about you or your hair loss, something like that. People don't care about you or your hair, something like that. Watch it. It's important that you watch it. And I talk about how, so basically, the older you get, you realize you're being valued by society, not by hair. That's the last thing. People want to know, what can you do for them? Your hair is never going to be the answer to that question. What can you do for them? How can you provide and serve other people? That's what makes you likable and respected, and that's what people care about. So guys that already know that lesson, they've lived through it and they've learned that on their own, they can think, yeah, I know that my hair has nothing to do with this. I know that it's all about, if people are going to like me and appreciate me, if I'm going to be accepted by society and not ignored, they're not going to notice their hair. They're going to notice what I'm doing for other people. People don't care about you or your hair. They care about what you can do for them. That's how it actually works. That's how love works itself. You don't just get love, you have to give it, and the way you do that is you have to serve other people. But that's a very important concept that I didn't realize fully at first. I thought, oh, well, my mom and my dad love me. We're a good family. But we can't assume that the outside world treats us the same way and sees it the same way as our parents do. Even if you've got a good relationship with them, the rest of the world doesn't work that way. You have to provide something for them to be valuable to them. And that is how we see what's actually important. And as you get older, you realize that. And so that's number one. Number two, on a similar note, guys that are older, they allow other people to be held back by these arbitrary self-imposed limitations. You know, it's not just hair loss. It could be your height. It could be that maybe your lack of education or your inability to understand mechanics. What else could it be? It could be, yeah, that you're just not, you don't make as much money as other guys. Whatever it is, it's a self-imposed limitation that you put on yourself. Guys like me that have already learned this lesson, here's what I do. Survival of the fittest, right? I let other guys worry about all that other stuff. And I just go on with my life, and I'm the one out there getting stuff done and helping people and providing value, while those other people sulk about how they're not good enough because they say that they're not good enough themselves. Or even if somebody told me I wasn't good enough, I wouldn't let that hold me back. You can imagine what it's like to be me. There's more people who criticize my videos and tell me that basically they're worthless than there are people that say that they're helpful. But when has that ever let me down? It only serves as fodder for the fact that I am relevant. Whether people criticize me or praise me, I'm relevant. If they're talking about me, I'm relevant. It's all about not being ignored. And when you're providing things for other people, you're not being ignored, you're helping other people. And that's how they care about you. Number three, men who are older use their mature look as an advantage. And I've talked about all of these things in videos before, but I think it's important to collect them in this video. I believe that both men and women find appeal in a mature looking man. Now, it's one thing to look old and weak. Like if you have the Dr. Phil and you're not keeping that short, or if you're just walking like this. But see, like me, as a 36-year-old guy, I'm full of energy, full of confidence. And so it doesn't matter that if, as I look older, as I get closer to 40 and I look closer to 40 or closer to 50, whatever the age is, I'm always going to embrace that. And people are attracted to this concept of a mature looking man. See, it's on the female's part that she has to worry about looking young and beautiful. See, that's the cool thing about guys. We don't have to worry about that. We just have to look handsome. We don't have to look hot or sexy. We just mainly have to look handsome, classic, clean, relevant, and we can look older, and it actually serves as an advantage to us. So we know that I can expose my hairline and be just as confident as I was if I had the Jared Kushner haircut where I you know, covered up my hairline. So men who lose their hair at a younger, this is my closing point, men who lose their hair at a younger age are going to be forced to learn these lessons sooner. They're going to be forced to realize how the world actually values them is when they serve other people and have something to offer and do for other people. They'll realize that they can let everybody else let these limitations hold them back, but not themselves. And they're going to get ahead while those other people hold themselves back. And they're going to realize, hey, if I look a little bit older, who cares? As long as I am handsome and relevant and all these things, that they use that to their advantage. I know this is a long video, but this is my second attempt to do it. The first time it took over 10 minutes. But this is important information that I think that we need to really grasp and camp out on. I think this is the next part for us to grasp this before we can move on. Because it's taking attention away from the fact that we're losing our hair and thinking, actually, how can this be an advantage? What can I learn from guys who are older and why they don't care about their hair loss? I'm Nick Shell. Thank you for watching my video. I'm here to help.